What's up, everyone? It's Shaletta. I'm here getting a phone for one of my newly minted teenagers with Xfinity Mobile. They've got great options, affordable plans, and solid coverage that works for our whole family. With Xfinity Mobile, my daughter can stay connected with me wherever she goes. And did you know when you sign up, you can get an extra phone line free for a full year? Switch to Xfinity Mobile today for more savings, more smiles, and more ways to stay connected.
Want your boss to put some real action behind the rhetoric when they talk about making your workplace more inclusive? Find out how to hold their feet to the fire and demand diversity on the Diversity Dude podcast.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Diversity Dude podcast. I'm your host, Lambert Fisher, marriage and family therapist, award-winning author, and national speaker on the topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. And for those of you who are interested in even more positive and encouraging tips and strategies beyond what I share in podcasts like this, then feel free to check out my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice. Nationally recognized for the unique way in which it addresses the often difficult topic of multicultural awareness and diversity. Designed for more than just therapists, if you're a helping professional in any way, Diversity in Clinical Practice can help you meet the greatest variety of cultural needs possible for those whom you serve. And it's available in audio and paper versions for your convenience. And if you haven't heard it yet, I invite you to visit TED.com and check out my talk called What to Do When You Offend Someone, where I offer a positive and practical perspective on how to navigate unintentional offenses in daily life. To date, it's been viewed over 500,000 times. Check it out for yourself, and if you're encouraged by it as well, share it with a friend. And whether it be through my one-on-one relationship building efforts as a therapist or my informing and empowering efforts as an author or speaker, know that my personal mission is to do my part to improve the world one strengthened relationship at a time. So, today I want to share an encouraging perspective on navigating differences when morals clash. Now, one of the most significant topics of conversation for many people these days is still the result of the most recent election here in the United States, where Donald Trump was once again elected to the highest leadership position in the land, President of the United States of America. From the very politically inclined and actively engaged to the politically indifferent and actively uninvolved, many people nonetheless have very strong opinions and often additional feelings about what this means for the country as well as for them individually. I've also had some very healthy discussions with many outside the United States these days who are also looking in and watching what happens here, in part because what happens here also has an impact on the rest of the world, for better or for worse. So, if the election's over, why are we still talking about it? For better or for worse, isn't it time to put this in the past and move on with the rest of our lives? Well, in many ways, I agree. I don't believe it's in our best interest to stay stuck on one moment in history, whether you see that as a good moment in history or a bad one, especially if it stops you from living your best life today. But that's why I bring it up. Not to keep focusing on a past incident, but to help those of you who are still listening, trying to overcome common barriers to that moving forward challenge, individually as well as relationally in a healthy way. And one of those barriers to moving forward is the ongoing political division in significant relationships. More specifically, when differences seem to be so severe that the differences between them, differing preferences regarding the personality or physical quirk of a politician near you, gets in the way of a healthy relationship. So instead, as a marriage and family therapist, I've had the honor of being invited into relationship struggles with helping them to move forward as a couple when their spouse's beliefs makes them question whether they're even compatible moving forward as a couple, which makes it still relevant. One such compatibility challenge has become more and more common than I would have previously expected, and thus becomes worth discussing with you all here today so that you can benefit from the same overcoming strategies in the direction of healthier relationships despite differences. That challenge can be summarized as follows. Lambers, how can I stay married to someone when knowing that voting for that leader in that particular party means that me and my spouse have completely different morals? How can I trust them? Consider being vulnerable with them now knowing who I'm married to. Now, I will admit that similar moral values is very important to many, dare I say most couples. Even if you're not talking about just couples, we're talking about good friends or colleagues, people who you still spend a lot of time with, different moral values have a tendency to make you worry that there will be continual conflict. And no one wants that. But the question is all hope lost? Is the relationship doomed? Well, to put it shortly, I don't believe so. I have had the pleasure of seeing many relationships with different political leanings be maintained despite this concern. Here are a few considerations for how we've helped bring this about. Consideration number one: remember that just because you voted differently doesn't mean that you automatically have conflicting morals. The concern regarding conflicting morals often shows up when two or more people argue, how could you vote for so and so? Knowing that they believe this, that, and the other disrespectful, inconsiderate, or deplorable thing about this, that, or the other group of people. Interestingly, when the person who asked the question is expecting their partner to attempt to offer some justification for each disrespectful, inconsiderate, or deplorable thing, and their partner instead responds with, oh, well, I don't agree with those things. I don't share those beliefs. I don't feel those inconsiderate things about those or any group of people. But you see, I'm not voting for that person's personality. I'm not trying to be their friend. I'm voting for the person I believe that can benefit our family best because they can bring certain things to this economy and bring certain things to my ability to take care and share in this contribution effort to our family. Then that conversation takes a different turn. Now, let me be clear. This in no way becomes the actual end to the argument that solves all the challenges that they have between them. No, not at all. There still remains a lot to be shared and heard mutually between them. However, what this answer did was to change who they felt they were arguing against. They weren't arguing against someone who was 100% embodiment of the political leader in their own home. Instead, they were arguing with someone who acknowledged many of the concerns and traits that they felt concerned about, but who had different concerns that someone else was reassured them at as a political leader. Just because they voted differently didn't mean that they believed all of the same things or all of a sudden became a completely different person. Which leads to consideration number two. Remember that, as always, there's reason for hope as well as reason for concern. Moving forward healthily after the election in the face of a societal mix of hope and despair will require intentional reminders of what we still have to hold on to and build upon individually, relationally, and beyond, as well as acknowledging legitimate areas of concern as well. Now, here's the catch: you don't have to hold on to both at the same time. If you're feeling discouraged, acknowledge your concerns, why they're the case, and accept those feelings as legitimate. If you're feeling hopeful, acknowledge your happiness and hope, why that's the case, and accept those feelings as legitimate because feelings are legitimate, regardless of what we base them on. Then take the time to understand why someone else is feeling differently, likely for different reasons. You don't have to share those feelings. But just as with the assumption of moral contradiction, you may find that someone else's happiness is not necessarily about opposition to your concerns. It's possible for someone else to be happy about what they hope to achieve, while also being sad that you're not as hopeful. And to hope that despite your discouragement, you find out that in time that you might gain more than you feared you would gain, or might lose less than you thought you would lose. I'm not here to predict the future and tell you which one was right, but since none of us can, we do still have the opportunity to identify whatever we can to build upon and maintain healthy relationships. Which leads to consideration number three. We don't have to be exactly the same to work together and bring about as much good as possible for as many as possible. No politician is perfect. Never have been, never will be. They all have their pros and their cons, and they use their pros and cons to impact society in some way. As such, it's reasonable for people to highlight the importance of their pros and minimize or even ignore their cons, often because the pros that they see are the ones that impact them, and the cons that they minimize are the ones that impact others. As I mentioned, there are legitimate reasons for people's hopes, as well as legitimate reasons for people's concerns. Time will tell which percentage of pros and cons actually become a reality. In the meantime, though, I encourage you to make the most of each opportunity you can to identify legitimate threats to your present well being and to strengthen relationships with those who you discover are not actually the threats we fear them to be. Because of this, my hope for you is that you remember that party differences don't automatically mean insurmountable moral differences. The more we can learn about our and others' priorities, the more we can work together to make the future even better and more hopeful for us all, considering varying priorities and concerns for each of us, not just for some. And with that, I'll say thanks again for listening to today's Diversity Do podcast. If you have any pressing diversity related questions that you'd like me to address on an upcoming podcast, or if your organization is in need of a shame free or empowering guest speaker or training on this often sensitive topic, then feel free to reach out to me directly at www.diversitymadesimple.com. And if you know anyone else who can benefit from a positive and encouraging perspective on this often sensitive topic of diversity, then feel free to send them a link to this podcast so they can be encouraged as well. Or share with them my award-winning book, Diversity in Clinical Practice, available at Amazon.com. And don't forget to visit TED.com and check out my talk on what to do when you offend someone. I hope it inspires you and that you share with someone else so that they can be inspired as well. And as usual, I look forward to addressing as many topics as possible in future podcasts to help you improve as many relationships as possible at work, at home, and in your community. And as always, remember this: you don't need to know everything about everyone in order to have a positive impact on someone. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great day.
Tune in each week and find out how to demand and implement diversity at your job. To hear more, check out previous Diversity Dude shows on ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com.
You know Shaletta makes you laugh, but did you know Shaletta Brundage can also make you think and boost your business? Media personality, activist, and comedian Shaletta Brundage founded Shaletta Makes Me Laugh to celebrate and share the best of Black culture. It's a podcasting platform. You can download 10 weekly podcasts hosted by African-American subject experts at ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com is also a production house, creating broadcast-quality commercial content. And Shaletta and her team of storytellers create powerful promotional campaigns to get businesses the brand awareness they're looking for. Some of Minnesota's top businesses trust Shaletta, and you can too. Get out the word about your events and products and get in front of communities of color with ShalettaMakesMeLaugh.com. She's got the power to help your business.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy.